good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year, but when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
When I was watching film this week, I had to write a note to myself. 3 touchdown passes in an NFL game deserves respect, not ho-hum just because they throw it around all the time, and he got his respect. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's the ultimate vote of confidence from a week ago. Hey, look, he was great, not his best game ever, but obviously was very good to garner that award. All the talk this week, though, was about let's take that forward now. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. That's caught at the 25. Fights for, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
Jordan Reed is one of the best route-running tight ends in the NFL, and it shouldn't be an accident because at one point he was a college quarterback. So at times when he runs routes downfield, I think he's doing it with quarterback eyes and almost in a sense is imagining himself catching a pass from himself.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Now Smith. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. This is brought in at the 21. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
A second down throw for Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First down, Prescott. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. A look here on your screen at how Washington's going to line up defensively. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They come up in an offset eye. Throwing, Prescott, and he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
So the drive there took 6 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
To throw is Prescott. Man open left side, it's Williams. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? Boy, that's some kind of effort. When he caught it, I doubted if he could get there. Knew it was going to be close, but credit him. Really good effort.
How about the rack on that play, the run after catch? But most of the time we think of it as just being an open field and picking up yardage. Sometimes you have to be real physical in order to gain the yardage you need for a 1st down. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Elliott. Oh, good move. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's French. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
He hits Riddick underneath. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Looking to throw. Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a 1st down as well. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Finding some room in midfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. Prescott to throw it. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Smith. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On first down, Smith. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Second and 10, Smith again. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The Redskins on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and a mile. They'll hand it down to Geis, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott, and they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin in the Meadowlands, an AFC East matchup between New England and the New York Jets. And it's the Jets who are out in front in that one. Rob Kelly accounting for the lone scoring thus far, as he's cashed in with a touchdown run. Next, we take a trip down the coast to Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster, a touchdown reception. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. A touchdown pass there for Jameis Winston. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out now come the Redskins. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Oh, he sheds himself free. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground on 1st, it's Geis. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On the handoff, it's Geis, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, That means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. He's at the 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 21-0. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. On first down, this is Geis. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Smith now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Tressway now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
I mean,
that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop it before we get a good head of steam going.
So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down.
Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Everyone's got 4 down.
The Cowboys will go. Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
From the gun, here's Smith. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
Throwing is Smith. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This will be caught just inside the 10. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Looking to find a lane, but he can't, reined in at the line of scrimmage. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Demarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Prescott now. Trying to lay one up deep. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 43 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing here, Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. Well, they're not making taking it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And now running right through it. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. On second down, Prescott again. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Well, Prescott here to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Prescott from the gun on third. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Cowboys, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Washington, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.